All right, guys, welcome back to the Crypto Boys. Joe P here with you today, talking about the scariest thing in the news right now. We're talking about the death cross and why, honestly, it's not something to worry about, but I'll explain it anyways. So check it out. Okay, guys, what is the death cross? Because that sounds awfully scary if you ask me. Well, traditionally, in normal stocks and normal things like that, the death cross is when the 50-day moving average goes below the 200-day moving average. So it's a typically bearish signal for the market. Now, in crypto, not always the case. That is definitely not the case here in Bitcoin, because in Bitcoin, there has been 6 instances where there's been a death cross. Okay, and 3 of them have played out to be bearish. 3 of them have not. So if you're looking at indicators to trade, which is why we use these indicators, I would say that the death cross is really not a good one to really pay attention to. It's something to note. You just look at it and go, okay, well, I guess this is happening. But it's not something that I would just jump all in on. You need to utilize RSI, and you need to use all these other indicators that people typically trade with. This is just something else to pay attention to, right? Now, the other reason why it's not something that I would go all in on of just paying attention to this as like one of your first indicators is because it's a lagging indicator, meaning that the reason that this data comes about, this reason that this death cross happens, is because the moving averages, which is an average of this time domain that you input into your computer, is delayed, because there's no way to get an average of something if it's happening right now. Like, it has to have data to accumulate. I'll show you here in a second of exactly what I'm talking about and why it's not really something to consider. But there is some cool things that I did want to pay attention to on time domain of typically in the Bitcoin world, how long this tends to happen. So why don't we dive into that and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is Bitcoin. This is the daily chart. As you can see here, this yellow line right here is our 50-day moving average. I changed it to yellow so that you can see it nice and easy. And the kind of turquoise-ish blue is the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average typically tends to respond a little bit slower, of course, because it's looking at 200 days as opposed to a shorter time domain. So if you had a really, really short time domain like the 2-day moving average, that thing's going to be volatile and up and down and all over the place, right? Where if you put in a 500-day moving average, that would be hardly moving at all. Honestly, it would just kind of just slowly creep up in an uptrend, hopefully, with Bitcoin here. So anywho, here we are. This right here, this happened just the other day, yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was. The 50-day moving average started to move below the 200-day moving average. As you can see over here, the golden cross instead of the death cross is when this guy started to move above the 200-day moving average. So right here is the golden cross, typically a very bullish signal in the trading world. It's something that you want to, hey, maybe start paying attention to. This is the time when you want to get into the market, right? Well, again, it's a lagging indicator. So what I mean by that is, even though this happened here in a bearish scenario, right, it's really telling us that we've been in a downtrend. We already know that. Like, we get it. It's definitely very obvious that we've been in a downtrend, knowing that this 50-day moving average is going down. We got it. Now, what I do want to look at, though, is a small time domain that I don't know if I've seen anyone talk about it. Maybe I've just made it up in the trading world. Maybe it's a real thing. I don't know. But the last time we had this this death cross was right here on the, looks like the 18th of June. Okay. Now, since it's a lagging indicator, I thought to myself, well, when did it actually start going down in this time domain? The big drop that they had was, okay, so this was about the 18th of June. This kind of started, I would say, about the 10th of May. So just a little bit over a month was when it kind of started to drop off, and then it took about a month, maybe I would say 5 weeks to get this death cross right here. So if we're looking back here, I thought it was kind of interesting that this is the, let's say, 15th of January. About 5 weeks prior would be, Yeah, right around here. I guess that wouldn't be an awesome indicator, but it's definitely a massive drop in the market. This would probably be the top that you would want to start at, but this is when really things started to definitely be in a downtrend. And again, that's about 5 weeks right there, maybe a little bit longer potentially. So it's almost like it's about 5 week delay or lag behind it. So that's something very interesting to note. And I also kind of wanted to see, there's a similar pattern here on the Golden Cross. And so the Golden Cross, if we're looking at the 13th of September, I guess it really started to kind of run up here in July, like middle of July. So that was like 2 months, I guess, worth of it. So I don't know, something to be said about that. Just weird time domains. And again, the Bitcoin death cross is not something that you definitely necessarily need to stake as much information or, trading info into the death cross as opposed to your typical traditional stocks or other companies if you're investing in the S&P 500 and other things along that nature. Yes, there is a bad feeling in the crypto world right now. Yes, everyone knows that it's in a downtrend. I don't believe we're in a bear market right now. I do believe that we're teeter-tottering. We're hovering right around the point of the last potential bit of support. Right around that $39,000 range. If we do dive below that, we're probably going to take a deep tumble, especially for Bitcoin, which could mean run up of altcoins. That's something to consider as well, too, if the Bitcoin dominance of the market starts to drop off or just fall off the face of the earth. Well, then the money's got to go somewhere. So either people are going to start taking it out and selling off all this Bitcoin, or they're going to utilize that profit for now all the altcoin season that potentially we should have after that. Really no telling, I'll be honest with you, but I did just want to get out a quick video of, okay, so we have a death cross. Now what, right? It's not anything to jump ship off by any means at all. Because, again, if you paid attention to this video at all, it's a lagging indicator. You need to pay attention to the things that are happening more consistently, and right now would probably be a better indicator of trading, but it's something to consider. So I just wanted to get a quick video out to you guys. As always, thank you for being with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube. We will check you guys next time.